How's it going, guys? Quarantine Lord Danny here, dressed in my pajamas because I can't be bothered getting dressed. Today we are doing something different. A while ago I bought myself a Sonic plushie for about £2, and as you can see he's not in the best condition. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do a video where I attempt to restore him. I don't know how this is going to end, this could fail, but hopefully my crafting abilities can be put to use here to do an interesting video where I restore an old Sonic plushie. Okay, so as you can see, he has got some very damaged eyes. The whites of his eyes are faded off. His shoe is missing a ribbon here, and this ribbon is quite thin. It looks like it's been tightened and shrunk somehow. He's also got some loose stitches. His feet are practically hanging off. He's also just lost a bit of fur, so that's something I can't quite fix. But I'm gonna try and fix any bits which need string, and I'm just gonna try and repair this. Also, you will see my snake in the background. He will definitely be making an appearance. Hi, Leslie. So the first thing I'm going to do with this plushie is I'm going to spray it with some fabric freshener. I've already done this before, but I'm just going to wipe him down just to make sure he's really clean. Then we can get to work on fixing up his fur a little bit. Yeah, this angle isn't going to look too good, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cloth and then spray some freshener on it, and then I'm going to wipe him down. So I'm just going to get over here when I do that. In between the quills, his fur is actually kind of softer and nicer, because obviously if some kid had him for years, then they wouldn't have really had contact with that bit, but because it's like tucked in. But the rest of his body, yeah, he's been hugged a lot, you can tell. You guys can't see, but my snake is right up against the glass, and he is watching what I'm doing. I think he's learning something. He probably thinks I'm preparing him some food, but I'm not. This is definitely not his food. I've got to show you this, I'm sorry, like, just look at him, like, he is right there. He is observing, he knows what he's doing. And then he just saw the camera, so now he's trying to get to you guys. Okay, so I think that is enough cleaning. Okay, so you can't really tell, but I have dampened him with the fabric freshener. So now I'm gonna work on his fur. And also, Leslie is very, very interested. So one little trick I've learnt about unmatting fur is to use a comb. Some people also use pet brushes, but I'm going to just use a regular comb because I use this comb only for my crafting projects when I'm doing yarn and stuff, because I do craft a lot. Kind of. Not really. I mean, I try. So anyway, let's just start combing him. And you can just go away, Leslie. So the trick here is just to gently comb, and basically just kind of, it should unmat his fur. It seems harder on this kind of plushie, so maybe I will have to get myself a dog or cat brush. I do have some. The reason I'm not using them is because, well, I use them on my dog, so I'm not gonna use that on a plushie, because that's very incorrect. You want to be gentle as well, depending on how old the plushie is, because you don't want to end up damaging the fabric underneath, because sometimes it can thin. And also, this guy's already lost quite a bit of fur, so I don't want to end up losing too much. And my dog is in the background now. This is just animal time.
Okay, so you can already see that he's become a little bit fluffier, mainly on like these bits I've been working on. So I'm just gonna finish that up off camera because I don't want to waste camera time, because I've got other things to show you with this, so I'll just cut to when I finished him up.
Okay, so I've been at it for a while and it hasn't changed too much, but you can see it's floofed up a bit more, which is what I was going for. I think maybe a pet brush would work better for something like this, but I don't have one. But I'm happy with just how it is. The real restoration is not to do with the fur though. The real restoration comes with the feet, which are hanging off and missing ribbons, and the eyes, which I'm hopefully going to touch up a little bit. It's probably not going to turn out brand new or anything, but I think it will look a bit better. So what I'm going to move on to next is sewing the foot back together. And obviously for that, I have needles and some white thread. And I also brought some stuffing, which I think was from some other crafting project of mine. That could come in handy, so you know, let's have a look at what we can do to his feet, and then we'll work on the ribbon, and then last we'll do the eyes. Isn't that right, Leslie? Okay, so I haven't actually sewn in a very long time, so this is gonna be probably not gonna work out well. Oh, already you can see I'm failing. I'm just gonna start off as easily as I can. God, I actually can't remember how to sew. So I get the needle. How do I miss the hole? This is painful. Oh, how do people do this? Yeah, sure, that works. Yeah, best I can do. I'm gonna work on this foot first because it's not as bad. Doesn't feel like it needs any stuffing or anything. Bless me. Okay, for my first sewing attempt in a while, I'm satisfied with that. That should be fine, that should be stable. Now the challenge is the other foot, which is split and it's hanging off. Okay, so I have just stitched up the other split there. So now I'm going to do some more stitching to put the foot back in place. I don't really think... Oh wait, hang on. Is it split at the back there? There's a tiny split at the back. I'm just going to fix it with this last bit of thread I have. Okay, yeah, just a very quick fix on the back there. So now I'm going to work on the loose foot. Okay, so I didn't do the best job, and I did end up removing some stuffing, but it is firmly back on, which is what matters, because it might come undone, probably, because my stitching is really bad, but actually I'm proud of these results. So the next step will be shot in a different location probably, or at a different time, because I'm going to take a break now, but the next step will be adding the ribbons to these shoes, and then the whites to the eyes. I'm sorry for that noise that you probably can hear. So, also Leslie is still investigating. Oh, that snake, I swear. Okay, so I don't know if you can really tell, but I'm just doing a little quick update in this part of the video to say that the pet brush actually works a lot better than the comb, as I thought it would. I found one of the old unused pet brushes that we have. Well, it's not used anymore at least. So I've been using that, and you can already see that the legs have become more floofy, the chest is becoming floofier, and that was a bit I was struggling with the comb. And the head's becoming a bit floofier. So I'm going to finish that off camera because it's just, you know, brushing it with a brush. What more do you want to see? The only thing is, it does kind of damage it sometimes, so I'm going to have to fix a tiny hole that has appeared here. That's fine. So I'm just going to finish doing this, and then we'll move on to adding the string to this hand to match this one, and then everything else. Hey, so back with the next part of this video. As you can see, I'm in a different location and I look worse because quarantine. So now we are going to be just fixing up the hand of the plushie. So on this hand he has no strings to mark where his fingers are or where the cuff of his glove is. On that hand he has that and it's just fine. So I'm going to try and replicate that as much as I can. Then I'm going to replace the ribbon on that foot because it is a bit frayed anyway, and give him a new ribbon there. Plus the ribbon I have is wider, so I think it will look more Sonic-y. And then I'll do the eyes and then that'll be it, I hope. I think that'll be the end of me attempting to restore this plushie. I wouldn't say I've actually done a good job. Okay, so we're going to do the usual thing. We've got my needle, got the thread kind of threaded. I'm not good at that. Now we just got the Sonic, and I've just got to replicate this hand and then somehow make it work. It's gonna be hard because I have no idea how to do this. But hey, first time for everything. Okay, so it's hard to tell, but I have added a really thin, kind of crappy looking knot here, well, thread, to make it look like a cuff. That's not really worked very well, but again, what can you do? It's me, not some professional threader. So now I'm going to do the fingers, which I think should be harder actually, never mind. I was going to say it should be easier, but that's a lie. Okay, so I've added one finger. I have just two more of these threads to do, and then I'm gonna say that the hand is complete, and then I'll move on to the more fun stuff, because this is not fun for me. This is probably my least favourite part of this. And the hand is complete. It kind of got worse as I progressed, but overall I'm kind of pleased with that. It does kind of match that hand, so that's all that matters. It does look kind of crappy, but whatever. That's my least favourite part. So now, onto the shoes. Okay, so I got my big scissors out for this part just so I can cut the ribbon properly. I don't have any actual shears, so that's not actually counting. How do I cut? Do I not have any decent scissors for this? Okay, well the ribbon's gonna look a bit weird anyway because I don't have the correct scissors for it, but you know what? I don't care. So, first of all, let's just measure out on this shoe. Yeah, that's not gonna look very nice when it's actually on the plushie, but it's gonna look better than the other ribbon at least. That's all I can say. So let me just... This foot's like got some remains of the thread from the previous ribbon, so I'm gonna just cut that off. I'm just gonna sew on the ribbon, so I'll see how that goes, because my sewing isn't the best, I know that. Okay, so I suppose this is done. I do not like it. I'm gonna probably trim that really bad bit of thread there. That took like 15 minutes just to do this, and I hated it, so I don't see any point in removing this one as well. I know they don't really match, but I'd rather have unmatching feet than do this again because the results aren't even that good, and I think I could do a better job another day. So for now I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to do the last part, which is the eyes. So for painting the eyes, I've just got some water and some white paint and a little brush, and it's hard to see on camera, but there are some very faint circles that I think mark where the eye used to be. I think you can just see it like here. That's where the eye shine used to be, so that's where I'm going to paint. I know this is also a bit faded, so I think at some point I will go over that with black paint, just to make it look a bit nicer, or maybe a Sharpie. Sharpies can work too for stuff like that, if you want to hide scratches on black eyes. But my main priority is just getting the eye shines back on, and then putting some varnish on to make sure it doesn't rub off very easily.
So I'm just gonna get some water, move it out of the way so you can see better, and then just get like a very small amount of white acrylic paint. Did I even get any water on this? I don't think I did. So that's so far. I think it makes it look a lot better just by having a tiny bit of eye shine. Even if it's a rough paint job, it should look a bit better. From a distance at least. And there he is with his finished eye shines.
So now I have painted on the eye shines. They're a bit smudgy, so that is just because I'm not too steady with this. But you know what, from a distance, he looks okay, and that's all that matters. That's better than him not having any eye shines at all. So now I'm just going to let the eyes dry, and then I'm going to add some of this stuff onto the eyes, which basically preserves the paint job.
Okay, so the paint is pretty much dry now on this guy. So it's now time to use the Duraclear Ultra Matte Varnish. I've never used it before, I've just opened it now, and it's basically an alternative to other like varnishes that toy customizers use, but normally people use spray-on ones. Like I have a spray-on one for doing paint jobs like this on other stuff. But this is, you gotta paint it on and I'm gonna die. So, I don't know, the instructions say to shake gently. How do you shake gently? Yeah, good enough. And then, oh, it's already popping out. Oh, I've just got some on myself. Oh no, I've just varnished myself. I'm gonna take a very light bit there. Oof, I don't like that. I'm gonna do it on the black part of the eye first, just to see. I'll do it on the really dodgy looking eye. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. Spread it across the entire eye and... oh yeah, that should be fine, yeah. So it won't add any like extra shine to the eye, like some varnishes do. Like you can get a glossy finish that will do that. This will just make it so that the paint doesn't rub off easily. It makes the paint permanent. You're meant to also add multiple layers, but I don't think I need to with this because I'm just doing a very small detail on the eyes. And done.
And there you have it. So this is the finished restored Sonic plushie. So we gave it a very weird looking hand to match with this hand. We floofed up the fur a bit. It's hard to tell in some areas, like it is a bit matted still, but overall you can definitely tell the difference between the fur now that it's been brushed. I have cleaned it as well, so it doesn't smell weird like when I first got him. I fixed his loose feet. I probably should have stuffed it, but because it was loose here, it was weird to then stuff it and then sew it up. I don't know. I'm not professional enough to do that. And then we added an extra ribbon. I was going to add one here, but I struggled with that. That took 15 minutes just to do that one, and it didn't even look that good, so that's why I wasn't doing a second one. But then the final thing was adding the eye shines, where I believe the eye shines used to be. It did look like there was a matching mark on both eyes, like a circle, which probably would have marked where those eye shines originally went. and then I coated it with a matte varnish. So overall, I'm impressed. I think the eye shine is all it really needed, and obviously a clean because it did smell weird. And obviously fixing up the feet that were practically, they were hanging on by like 2 threads on this foot in particular. This foot was okay, but this one was just dead. Some kid just really hated this foot in general. So, for my first ever vintage plushie restoration, I think it went well. And originally my plan with this was to just practice cleaning the plushie, because my friend got me another Sonic plushie that I need to clean. I don't really need to restore him as much, but he definitely needs to be cleaned. So now I'm confident that I can clean it without damaging it. And you know, I am just really impressed with the results. I might do more of this sort of stuff if I ever find more damaged plushies, because he was only £2 on eBay. And I don't think many people really were trying to get him because he looked really bad. But I saved him because I was like, hey, I feel bad for this little guy. And I think he looks cute now. I'm actually proud of him. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I will do videos occasionally. I promise. And have a nice day whenever I upload this, day, night, whatever. I'm Lord Danny, signing out.